Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
We are a nation in decline.
Experts are preparing for what is known as Disease X, or the next pandemic.
What we are seeing is a revolution against the system.
Hello, welcome everybody to a little Sunday stream. Today's March 10th, 2024. Today's stream is called Next Week in Wonderland. I'm your host, VinceTagliavia, and today we're just going to be talking about what we're expecting to happen next week. As I go live every Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, we're just going to take a little look ahead today, see what's coming. So thank you all for joining. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new and you like to stay on top of the news. And we're going to get right into things here in just a moment. And follow me across the board. I'm over there on X. After this live stream, I'll put all my notes and information into a post. And so if you want any of this information and my sources and whatnot and what we look at today, you can find that on x.com. Follow me. Just search my name, VinceTagliavia, or my handle at ReadyF4Any right here on the screen. You can follow me on X there, and there should be a link in the description as well. Hello, RM. Hello, Christy. Thank you guys for tuning in. RM saying, hello, fellow grinders. Yeah, grinders. How do you guys like that title? Grinders. Of course, we've got Rise and Grind Monday through Friday. So if you're tuning into that, maybe you're a grinder. And it's kind of a funny name. I like it. Christy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Happy Sunday over there. Hope y'all are doing good. All right. Well, let's get into things here. As usual, as you know, I start with finance, but we're getting to a pretty special time. So I want to talk first about, we've got the March equinox. The astronomical official spring is going to be beginning next week, March 20th, March 21st, depending on your time zone. But yeah, that we're getting into that time of year. So springtime, usually people start their gardens next week. Some of you already have started sprouting seeds indoors, and I've started sprouting some seeds. It's a little slow. It's been cold, so it's hit or miss with the germination, but things are still going. I've got things that made it through the winter. My onions are still thriving, a couple different types. I've got my beans survived. I'm going to just probably collect these things, let them go to seed, and then plant them again later. But some things survived the winter here. I planted some carrots really late in the season, so I'll just let those go to seed. I'll collect them, save them for next year or later this year for a late plant. So let me know in the comments what you guys are doing for as far as gardening goes this year, or raising animals or whatever. Maybe you're a farmer, let me know what you're doing. I love to hear about it, and I'll be sharing my my plants and things maybe on a special playlist on YouTube and on x.com. So, and also I'm on TikTok, love it or hate it, I'm there, and you could follow me there as well. Just search my name, and I'll be putting some of my personal things on there, as like gardening and health things and just BS, as I like to call it, my BS throughout the day that I don't necessarily put on, you don't see day to day. So if you just want more from me, follow me everywhere and get a variation of content. I'm so excited for springtime. This is my time of year right here. It's going to be nice. So I'd love to hear from y'all what you're doing. And if you're not, why? Come on, plant something on the windowsill. You're in an apartment, you get a little bit of light, you could grow something. Just do it. It's so fun. Even if it's just some herbs or something, it's so fun. So I highly recommend it. Let me know in the comments what you're doing. I really, 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 really want to know. You could also contact me on X. I'll surely respond. So let's just start with that. The March equinox is on its way. And hello, Jesus is my one savior. Thank you for tuning in. And half the world is a night. Thank you so much as well for tuning in. Howdy to you. And my D-Life people, we've got Forrest over there. Caught me in the garden, and I like grinders. Thank you, Forrest. You're in the garden now, getting ready. I've been eyeballing my garden. There's a lot of work to do. We're going to be expanding our little kind of communal garden too this year, and it's private communal garden. But yeah, so I'm really excited. A lot of work to do. Looking forward to it. But yeah, so tell me all about it, y'all. Pardon me. Just wet my whistle real quick before we continue talking about the real fun stuff. Hi, Kai1111. How you doing? And Amanda Cook. Hi. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate that. Well, let's talk about what's coming up in the financial world, something I like to keep tabs on. We've got something. Thank you to RM for pointing this out to me. I did see some rumblings last week about it, and I think it's an important thing that we're going to keep our eye on. I pulled up a few references so we could kind of figure things out. Hey, Joe Tagliavia, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. So let's talk about BTFP. What that is the Bank Term Funding Program. Last week on the 7th, Jerome Powell was quoted as saying, "There will be bank failures." Of course, he's the U.S. Fed chair. And so this is a program that's going to end. Clay Clark pointed it out. Let's take a quick look at this post. And of course, but Jerome Powell is pointing out, not Jerome Powell, Clay Clark here is pointing out that this could lead to CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and writes, what happens when the Fed program started March 2023 to allow banks to borrow from the Federal Reserve ends Monday? What happens? And that's tomorrow. And I'm thinking, what is going on with this BTFP thing? And why there aren't too many people talking about it? Clay Clark did put this video from the source. I'll tell you in a second. Let me just share this with audio so you can hear just the first 20-30 seconds of this video he posted. Let's just listen.
You've got this switch right here that all you have to do is, I'm going to flip that switch up. No more BTFP come March 12th of 2024. And you know that your inflation problem is gone.
But replaced by what? Replaced by a banking crisis, which means what? Which surely means a recession, surely has broader ramifications.
And surely means
inflation.
CBDC.
Well, yes.
So they on kitco.com say this means CBDCs are coming. Economic crisis is coming. I'm going to say this. I don't know. I'm not a financial expert. No idea. But I started to look at what other people are saying. And I came across Jack Straw on X, who wrote a little bit about this. And I just did my best to kind of understand this. And I will put it in layman's terms for my best understanding. Jack Straw wrote this, though. Starting on Monday, March 11th, banks will be prohibited by law from loaning the fiat US dollar, according to an announcement from the Federal Reserve Board. They say that, quote, this effectively means that banks will commence closure on that day. The only viable option they have to salvage the economy is to initiate the global currency reset, which they're talking about CBDCs. This gets into a little bit of like some things that I get skeptical on. People start talking about Nasara Jassara, a new financial system, and everyone's debt's going to be wiped out. I personally don't believe that's going to happen. But I do think that we are in great financial shifts. I do know things are happening and we're likely going to see big changes. Maybe CBDCs, et cetera. We see the groundwork already being laid out, not just in the US, but in China. We see Russia backing their currency with gold and doing business with the BRICS nations, all of which are moving away from the US dollar. So there are big things happening, and how it's all going to shake up, no idea. But next week, we're going to be keeping a close eye on the banks because of this. Wall Street Silver posted about it on x.com, writing, quote, Jerome turned on the printer and nobody noticed. The Fed's bank term funding program just got silently supercharged. It's all explained here by FX hedgers in their latest article, which was a great article. They laid it out in layman's terms. I'll read a little bit of it and try to explain it. They start by saying here, this is FX Hedge fxhedgers.com. They write, quote, Powell and company are constantly finding new ways to inject liquidity into an economy running on fumes. This time, they've juiced the bank term funding program, effectively sweetening the deal a bank can get on these emergency loans. The Fed is offering loans at rates below what it pays to banks who park money in its vaults. A financial institution can theoretically borrow from the Fed at 4.94% as of Friday, January 5th, and then earn interest on that money from the same Fed at 5.4%. So it's just this, what people point out is just like this circular silliness. And this is just to keep things going. If we go on, they mentioned Silicon Valley Bank, which went under, and that we could see this again. We saw a bank do a V-shaped recovery last week after it got funding, after crashing a huge amount in a single day. It recovered very quickly. But in the end here, they say that basically what this is going to result in is smaller banks not being able to keep going, continuing on, and larger banks buying them up, consolidating money to the biggest banks, and then having little banks kind of fizzle out. That's the theory proposed by fxhedgers.com. So I kind of think that's what we'll see. I don't think it's going to be like a light switch to where one system's turned off and another system comes on and some big thing. I think it's going to be a gradual, one bank at a time, 1 week at a time, and it's going to be a shift that's kind of a more of a longer term thing. Maybe it happens quicker. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious. And if you have more information, more sources, please share them with me. I'm happy to learn more about this stuff. And that's really something. The BTFP, Bank Term Funding Program situation. Thank you, RM, for putting that back on my radar. I'm happy to be able to talk about it. I'm going to go to the chats quickly here. Credit unions, Forrest Friend asks. I don't know, Forrest. I don't know. If you can elaborate, that'd be good. All right. Next week, we're going to definitely be keeping our eye on gold and crypto. Let's take a quick look. I mean, last week we saw record prices with gold. We saw record prices with crypto and a crazy amount of volatility in both. I think that's going to continue. And so we're definitely going to keep our finger on those. I'll just leave it at that. But I will continue on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I think is going to be a massive topic of conversation, not just over the next month, but over the next couple years and beyond. But especially, this is going to be especially important over the next year or two for Bitcoin because of the Bitcoin halving. The Bitcoin halving is estimated to happen next month around the 16th. And what that is the production of Bitcoin, or the creation of Bitcoin, is going to be reduced by 50% by about April 16th. And that date might fluctuate a little bit. But about by that time, the amount of Bitcoins being produced is going to be reduced by 50%. The last time this happened was a few years ago. I talked to Chris Large a little bit about this on his channel. Chris Large, if you don't follow him, just search Chris Large, or I posted it on x.com in my timeline. You can find that interview. But last time it happened, it took about a year, and we saw record Bitcoin prices. The theory of this Bitcoin halving and reduction in the amount being produced per day is that the scarcity of Bitcoin is going to increase the value per Bitcoin. And it's not an instant thing, but maybe about a year, or who knows, it's going to definitely affect the price, especially long term. This is why you have people saying, by the year 2100, Bitcoin is going to be worth $1 million or more each, or even way before that. People say like Bitcoin's going to hit 100,000 next, tomorrow. You hear all kinds of crazy theories, which is possible. I think the price is just going to go up, 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 and up, especially as there's more chaos with the US dollar, the petrodollar. fiat money. A lot of people like to throw that word around, right? Fiat currency. You're going to see fluctuations in Bitcoin and gold and silver and things like that. So the Bitcoin halving next month is going to be huge. If you crypto people it's probably well on your radar, but that is something we're definitely going to be watching and seeing how the markets react, see what people say about it. And it'll be covered on our daily show. RM says, everything is a slow boil, or the people will see and panic. Pardon me. Yes, RM, that's a great point, and kind of highlighting my point of that I don't think things are just going to all commence at once tomorrow, right? I think that you're right. A lot of this is to keep the system going, keep up the facade, if you will. I don't think they want it to all go away or transfer overnight. I think that it is a slow boil. You know, the old frog in the boiling water. You turn up the heat a little bit, it's not going to notice. But if you just toss it into boiling water, it's going to panic and jump out. So I do think that's the case here. And you write, RM says, my small credit union was merged with large mainland credit union 6 months ago. It's not good. Yeah, interesting. Wow. Christy asked, did you get more sun today, or do you need to adjust the color settings? So yeah, my camera does do an automatic color adjustment, and I look a little jaundice. I was trying to get as much sun as I could right before the show, like a half hour, 45 minutes before the show. I had like a little bit of sunlight, and believe it or not, if you stand out under the clouds in what would be direct sunlight, you still do get some vitamin D. But I'm naturally a little tan, and I try to get as much sun as I can. But yeah, I tried to get a little bit of vitamin D for the day. The sun was like not really shining through, but it was bright a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, so as far as finance goes, we also have next week, and in like a week and a half, on March 20th, the Fed chair Powell has his press conference. So that'll be a big event that's upcoming. Leading up to that, we're going to have some various data points coming out throughout the days. We've got home builder confidence index, housing starts data, building permits data, CPI and jobs data, and information about inflation. And that will all be leading up to this press conference from Fed Chair Powell. So that all could affect the markets until March 20th. And of course, that'll be the big one. We also have some notable earnings leading up to that this week, next week rather. We have just a few companies that I noted that I'll keep an eye on as it comes. Next week, we've got Oracle earnings, Kohl's, Dollar Tree, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Dollar General, just to name a few. These could be market movers as we go through next week. We'll see what happens. Of course, we'll be keeping our eye on all these banks too. We might see some big bank news. All right. And then maybe we'll hear more about CBDCs in the coming week. I don't know. But I do think we'll hear a lot about crypto, especially with the halving coming up. Maybe we'll hear some things about NFTs and other cryptocurrency utilizations and just the normal crypto stuff of different currencies and project developments. We'll see, right? As always, this stuff's not stopping anytime soon. What about XRP? I'm not huge into crypto, Christy. I hear it's a good one. I hear it's good. I don't know. I'm currently not involved too much in crypto. I don't follow it extremely closely. I just follow it in general. But XRP seems to be a popular one. I don't know a ton about it. All right. Let's move out of finance, talk a little bit about U.S. politics. Next week, we've got primaries. Okay. Trump went on Truth Social and put out a message to everybody because on March 12th, we have several states that are going to be stepping up. And let's listen to what Trump had to say.
Hello to everyone in Georgia, Hawaii, Mississippi, and Washington State. A very important election is coming up on March 12th. Each of you is going to have the opportunity to help us bring this primary to a quick and victorious win. We have to win, and it has to be decisive. We want to win by a lot because we want to send the signal on November 5th.
He says we're taking back our country, and then he goes on to talk about Joe Biden and everything. But yes, that's Georgia, Hawaii, Mississippi, and Washington state primaries on March 12th. So if you're in those states, go ahead and go do your thing, and we'll follow it all as it commences. That'll be fun. RM says Chris Large knows about XRP. Follow him for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, he does. And maybe when I get him on here, we can have a conversation about crypto. But that would be fun. Christy Beck says she started following Chris Large on Friday. Cool. Thank you so much. I had such a fun little interview with him. It was very fun. Thank you guys who tuned in over there. Left Maryland, thank you so much. And Forrest, thank you for the donation. Credit unions. Do you think credit unions will be affected by the small bank closures? Forrest, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I'll let you know if I figure anything out on that front, though. J2 Dank, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate that. Good to see you, and thank you for tuning in. And thank you, Just Jules and Wild Irish Rose. Thank you so much, guys. All right, onward. What else do we got going on? We have right now kind of breaking the development of an election that's going on in Portugal. And it's sort of a controversial thing where they're like, are they getting away from socialism and going more towards a far right radical government or whatever? So I don't know what the result is of that election in Portugal right now. They just closed their polling stations as I was trying to figure out what in the world is going on and what we're going to talk about next week. So we're definitely going to be revisiting Portugal and looking at what's happened there. We're also going to talk about what's happened Friday, Saturday, and Sunday tomorrow morning. We're also going to look at, we're going to keep our tabs on AI and technology, automation, all this kind of thing. We've had OpenAI, we've got Gemini, Google's AI, we've got Elon Musk's Grok, artificial intelligence on X.com. We have a lot of these new systems always being put out there and new things developing with AI. So that's going to be in the news next week. I'm predicting. It's just kind of a given. It's a very solid thing to predict because it's very likely. And so just expect some things there. And there's going to be a big conference in San Jose here coming up. I don't think that's next week, but it's real soon. So that's may bear some fruit in that world. Prediction wise, I think that we could very well see continued social unrest. We saw the protesters the other night in Washington, D.C. We've got pro-Palestine protests taking place in Amsterdam right now, or today, this morning, my time, Pacific time. And we're seeing these protests kind of all over Europe and the U.S., so I'm expecting this type of event to continue, especially this election year. It's going to be quite the year. I also think we're going to see some climate change news, global warming. They say that this month and the next month we're on track to having like records set as far as heat goes. We'll keep our eye on that and kind of track that. We just had those huge fires in Texas. Devastating the cattle ranchers, and a lot of that land over there has just been decimated massively. The largest wildfires in Texas history. Hopefully we don't see more of this stuff, but what else? I mean, we're seeing these fires and just like supply chain issues, various farms going up in flames strangely, and supply chain issues. So I'm thinking this is going to continue. We also had a couple major internet outages, not internet outages, but like company outages and what seems like cyber attacks, but people are saying, like we had the one from AT&T a couple weeks ago, and they said, oh, it was because we were updating our system and something happened. But the odd thing was, when AT&T had that big issue, a lot of other cell phone companies and other companies, even X.com, faced outages were being reported at the same time. And then we had the big Facebook outage last week as well. And they attributed it to just Facebook. But at the same thing, we saw a lot of companies go down at the same time. So maybe we'll see some more what it looked like cyber attacks or issues with companies and the internet going down for them. I don't know what it is, what's going on. I think we also are expecting some increased solar activity and chances of that affecting radio signals and electronics on Earth as well. I think I saw something that said it was going to be an increased percentage of something happening to like 20 to 35% or something like that. We'll talk about it as it comes, especially if there's a big CME event or something that could affect radio. It's very interesting to keep track of. And so, yeah, we might see more of that going on. And then we also saw last week, we saw government websites get hacked as well, right? Did you guys hear about that? Gosh, so who knows what we'll see here. I'm going to go to the chat real quick, and then we'll talk about just one or two more little last points. Thank you. All right, let's see. So lastly, St. Patrick's Day parade is coming here soon. It'll be in New York. Big parade, bagpipes, all that stuff. So St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Who knows? We might have news about that. It'll just be a big event. Hopefully it's just full of celebrations and good times. But we've got St. Patrick's Day already here. And if you're looking for something to watch today, just entertainment wise, this is probably something I'm going to put on later tonight. Lex Friedman just came out with an interview where he talks to Kimball Musk, Elon Musk's brother, and they have a conversation about the art of cooking, his book, stories from growing up in South Africa, and early days of Zip2, Tesla, and SpaceX. So Lex Friedman, a very good interviewer, and Kimball Musk. That'll be a good one. It's a long conversation, but they're great interviews. I just watched the one with Lex Friedman, and who was he talking to? Which one did I watch the other day? Oh, gosh, I don't even remember. But I'm looking forward to it. Who was it? Gosh, I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was Tucker Carlson. Yeah, I watched Lex Friedman interview Tucker Carlson. It was pretty good. So-so. It was so-so. Anyway, that's what I'm expecting for next week. If you guys want me to keep tabs on anything else, put it in the comments below. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you subscribe. Support me everywhere you can. X.com. If you're on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. I'm on YouTube, and I've got a few members over there on YouTube. Thank you all so much for supporting me. You could join in the description, become a member, enjoy the perks for the live chat, and support me as well. For $2.99 a month, you could join the VIP members, and for the next VIP plus, it's $14.99. You could get all the VIP perks, plus you can dictate what I produce content on next. So if you want me to do a whole thing on XRP, I'll do the research and I'll put a video out on XRP, or whatever topic you want. It could be any news related topic. It could even just be something that you're into. It could be about a certain type of car. It could be Formula One. It could be anything you'd like for VIP plus members on YouTube. Just get the link in the description below and join. And I appreciate you all so much. Thank you. I cannot express that enough. It's just been phenomenal. And you guys have given me so much support in my shows, and it means the world to me. So thank you all. And from all platforms, thank you all so much. And so tomorrow we'll be live again. I'll be live again at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, to continue this conversation. We'll talk about everything that happened over the weekend, what's happening that morning, tomorrow morning, and we'll continue on forward from there. So thank you all for tuning in. With that said, I'll see you all soon. Take care. God bless and Godspeed.
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
or maybe the year of a black swan event.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."